Hey guys, welcome back to Adventures in Aviators, the best kept secret on the internet. Today we are exploring one of the most amazing attractions in all of Colorado Springs, Colorado, and how we can explore it in a way that makes it feel a little less touristy. We are at Garden of the Gods today, and as always we're going to rate this on 5 different categories: location, trail traffic, plants and wildlife, facilities, and the payoff. And we're going to rank that on a scale of 1 to 5 aviators.
5 aviators.
So where is Garden of the Gods? It is in north central Colorado Springs, pretty close to the mountains there. It pulls in over 6 million visitors a year, and you'll see very quickly why. Just a stunning set of landscapes here. It's actually over 1,300 acres in this sprawling complex that has all kinds of roads, it has paths and hiking trails. And that's what we're going to kind of talk about today is what kind of an experience can you have here, and can you avoid making it feel like one of the millions of people who are there. So as you can see, there are multiple ways to get into Garden of the Gods. To the east, you've got Interstate 25, which comes in off of Fillmore Road there, and you can come in that way. That is where the visitor center proper is. But unlike a national park, you do not need to visit the visitor center before enjoying the park. You can just drive through and come on in. And again, this is absolutely free to investigate this park on your own. There are plenty of tours and, actual rock climbing things that you can do, different excursions that you can pay for. And that's honestly some of the first things you'll see on the internet if you look up Garden of the Gods, but you do not have to pay a dime to visit Garden of the Gods. There is a southern entrance as well, which is the one that we use and my parents use off of Highway 24 as well. So there are multiple ways to come in here. Once you get in, there's one main ring road that is a one-way road as you make your way around the park. But along the way, you're going to find various different parking lots and places where you can park, and different paths for different people of varying skill levels. You've got actual dirt paths that feel more like hiking trails. You've got concrete paths that just kind of walk up and hit the highlights. There's all kinds of things to do here, and that's what we're going to explore today. Specifically for the sake of this video, we're trying to avoid the crowds, and so I'm going to kind of keep coming back to that idea. And so we are actually going to be on the Palmer Trail starting in the north, and we're making our way all the way down to the Siamese Twins Trail. And then we're going to cut back in and see the highlights on some of the walking paths as we make our way back to our car in the parking lot. And as you can see from our map here, there are a ton of different intersecting trails that you can take here. So the bold black sections are the roads, the one-way road that I was talking about. It's not the only road, there are several different roads, but then all of these different dash lines are all different kinds of trails that you can take. And if you're looking for more of a hiking experience, but still want to be able to enjoy the different beautiful rock formations that are coming here, then there are a great number of ways that you can feel like you're escaping all of these crowds. But if you just, you got 20 minutes and you want to come and check it out, you can jump on any of these paved paths in the middle, and you'll see the things, you'll see a lot of other people, but it's beautiful as well. But when it comes to location, it's popular for a reason. It's right in the heart of Colorado Springs. I'm going to give this 5 out of 5 aviators. Now, when it comes to trail traffic, of course, the main thing here is what time of day and what time of year you are coming to visit Garden of the Gods. As I always say, go early. But here there's a little bit of a catch with that. The locals also like to come early to Garden of the Gods. And so you'll see we rolled into the parking lot here a little after 8 o'clock, and there's still plenty of people here. But again, because this park is so large, and we quickly got on to Palmer Trail here in the north, we didn't encounter that many people at all for the first hour plus that we were here. And I will say it really is amazing as quickly as you just kind of cross the road and get off of the main paths here, you just are in nature, and you do kind of mirror or parallel this road that goes around here, but very quickly you forget about the road, and it's not really there. You don't see it very much. Occasionally you'll hear loud cars if they're pumping their music or whatever like that, but very quickly you get out of the bustle of what makes us feel like a tourist attraction and onto just a proper hiking trail, and it's beautiful. Now, one thing that I might add here is that we kind of went backwards. If our whole goal on this day was to avoid the crowds, we would have probably done the paved trails first when there were fewer people there in the morning. As with most places, about 9 o'clock in the morning is when just the hordes and the masses arrive, and you just aren't going to find a lot of parking. You're not going to find solitude. You're going to find a lot of people here looking at these beautiful rock formations, which is, again, they are beautiful, and you can enjoy them even with a ton of people around you. And they do a pretty good job of paving this in a way that you're not just on top of each other. But on this day, we started on Palmer Trail first and went around, and we really encountered very few people. And so the trail traffic, I'm going to give this probably 3 out of 5 because there are going to be some people around. But if you go early and you get off of the beaten path, you can find yourself some solitude and really feel like a proper hike instead of a tourist attraction. That said, a couple of other things to consider is in the morning, you can see how vibrant these red rocks are. But that's always going to be on the east side, or you need to be on the east side in the morning to enjoy that. So you can see a lot of my shots here from the Palmer Trail in the morning are actually backlit because the sun is rising that way, and so you're looking kind of at shadows, which would be amazing in the evening as the sun is setting, but in the morning you're going to get a particular look as well. So if you're coming for the Insta shot and all these the fab stuff to post on the internet, you're going to want to be on the east side of the park to appreciate all of the lighting that's going on from that side. If you're in it for the hike and you're getting away from the people, Palmer Trail in the morning is perfect. Now again, as the day progresses, you get past 9 on to 10 o'clock, you're going to run into some traffic problems. You're going to see all kinds of people. That trail traffic is only going to escalate. And of course, that's only going to be more so in those summer months as well, with all of the tourists running around Colorado Springs. One thing I will note for trail traffic is where there is a specific mountain biking area in the eastern part of the park. And so if that's what you're here for, make sure you stay over there. Otherwise, lots of the trails clearly articulate that you are only for biking. You can get horse traffic here as well, though, and the subsequent horse dung that comes with that. They keep it pretty clean, but just keep an eye out for that as well when it comes to things you might find on the trail. Now, for plants and wildlife, this one's a little bit of a surprise. You would think that being right in the middle of Colorado Springs, you wouldn't see nearly the wildlife, nearly the plant life that you might expect in some of the outer trails, and just you wouldn't be in nature as much, but that's not actually the case. There's all kinds of wildlife here at Garden of the Gods. Even though you are kind of in the center of Colorado Springs, you're still close enough to the mountains that you can get all kinds of things. In fact, here is a stop for wildlife, and sure enough, we had some wildlife, some deer crossing the street right in front of us. You can also see bighorn sheep here as well, the occasional bear certainly as well. Again, with all these things, just as you always would, give them plenty of space if you see them. Don't approach them. Let them do their thing, and they'll let you do your thing. And it's a really beautiful thing to see here in the park. So you can see some big stuff as well, of course. We were here right at the beginning of fall, the first week of October, so you got some of the leaves are changing. You've got a variety of different birds. You've got the Colorado bluebird. You've got other kinds of birds, magpies, and the like, rabbits, squirrels, all that kind of good stuff. All kinds of nature right here in this really busy, bustling park. They've done a good job of managing it so that the wildlife still feel like they can be around, and you can appreciate it, and you can see it up on some of the rocks. You can see the bighorn sheep oftentimes. So definitely keep your eyes open. Even if you see tons of people, there's still plenty of wildlife to be seen here. If you do take the Palmer Trail, you can expect to see some more of the flowers and fauna, different cacti as well as flowers, depending on what time of year you're here as well. So this warrants the illustrious 5 out of 5 aviators.
5 aviators.
Now, when it comes to facilities, this is, of course, what you have to love about this place is because they do take in so many people every year. The facilities here are amazing. You've got multiple nice bathrooms, proper facilities, and multiple stops you can see here on the map all along the park. There's also some seasonal restrooms, which are more, of a squatty potty, whatever, not with running water, at other areas that they open up during the summer, but they're not open during the winter. In the heart of the park, the paths are paved, so even if you have special accommodations, wheelchairs, etc., you can still meander through the park and enjoy everything that this park has to offer. And then, of course, the paths are really well maintained as well. And you can see here that you can link together multiple different paths, which is what we did on this day. There's great signage all throughout. Definitely stay on the paths. They're really trying to preserve this area. And you can imagine with as many people as come here each year, if people are wandering off the path, it can get really degraded really quickly. So please stay on the paths, but they're really well marked and it's really hard for you to get lost. When it comes to parking, it looks like there's tons of parking, but I will tell you, it fills up fast. And we were here, we just did a drive-by here with my mom in the middle of the day around 10:15, and you can see quickly traffic was even backed up on this one-way road, and people was really struggling to find parking. So again, even if you are just hoping for like a quick jaunt, come early or maybe come late, but at midday it really does fill up, so be ready for that. Again, you have an actual proper visitor center on the east side of the park, so you can get all kinds of souvenirs, stickers. There's a little ice cream shop, all kinds of cool stuff over there as well. Feeling a little bit more like a national park in that regard. So with all these amazing facilities, of course, you're going to get 5 out of 5 aviators.
5 aviators.
So finally, for the payoff, you've seen some of the amazing pictures here. This is an absolutely stunning area, and you can see why they have gone to such great lengths to maintain it and make it accessible to so many people. On this day, we took that Palmer Trail all the way down to the Siamese Twins Trail, and you can see this is an amazing photo op. It actually has its own separate parking area if you only wanted to come and do this very short section. But this is an amazing spot, great photos as well. And then we came back to our car through the Scotsman Trail, and then through the main part of the park there, the Central Garden Trail, and checking out some of the main sites on the way back. And you can see how quickly, though, the crowds had formed. By this point, it was, 10:30 or so, and there's just people everywhere. And so, that just kind of is what it is here. But you can see, again, this stuff is so big. These rocks are so huge that when you're looking up, you don't even really notice all the people that are around you. So there is that. But the payoff is truly amazing. It's certainly worth a visit if you're in Colorado Springs, even if you don't consider yourself a hiker. These paths are pretty short, but if you want a proper trail, I definitely recommend the Palmer Trail. There are tons of other ones that intersect. There's great signage so you don't get lost, as long as you've got like a little map with you, or take a picture of the map as you join the trail. A couple of other important things to note, just for you novice hikers at best, you are starting off here at 6,000 feet in Colorado Springs. So even if you're going for a short jaunt, you might find yourself out of breath very quickly because you are so high up. It's also incredibly dry here, and so you may not sweat like you might otherwise, but you are definitely losing fluids. So make sure you bring tons of fluids, especially if you're doing a proper hike like we did on this day. Don't find yourself in a bad situation where you're dehydrated and short of breath. Make sure you're bringing all of those things that you would bring for a typical trail. Even though you are kind of near civilization, you want to make sure to have those things. You do typically maintain cell phone coverage here, which is not the case at some other parks in the area as you get up in the mountains. So that is a nice benefit here. These paths can get pretty snowy and snow-packed during the winter months, and they don't thaw out real quick. So just be ready for that. Maybe bring some spikes if you're coming in the winter months, but of course you will have many fewer people here during those months as well. So how many aviators we're getting? It's hard not to give this place 5 aviators. I mean, look at this place. It is a huge attraction for a reason. What an amazing and glorious spot. So even if you're an avid hardcore hiker, it's still worth the pass in. Come in, check out, even on paved trails, But hey, there's other trails here as well. But it's a must-do if you come to Colorado Springs. It is hard to find something like this in the state of Colorado, or even on this side of, the Rocky Mountains. So check this out. Even if you come for just 20 minutes, what a beautiful, beautiful sight. Enjoy Garden of the Gods, and hopefully you can beat the crowds. As always, leave this place cleaner than when you found it, and we will see you next time.